In today's society, the term high-value man is often tied to external markers like wealth, status, and power. While these attributes may command attention, true high value originates from within. It is defined by unshakable confidence, a profound sense of purpose, and a relentless commitment to personal growth. Being a high-value man means embodying self-discipline, mastering emotional control, and fostering a mindset that naturally attracts success and respect. These qualities are not innate, they are cultivated through intentional effort and a dedication to self-improvement. In this video, we delve into how you can embrace the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to unlock your highest potential. By applying these principles, you'll learn to navigate life's challenges with resilience, maintain clarity in the face of adversity, and build a foundation of self-worth that transcends external validation. Join us as we explore 9 transformative steps to elevate your confidence, character, and life. Chapter 1. The Power of Self-Discipline. Self-discipline is the foundation upon which a high-value man builds his life. It is the cornerstone of success and the defining trait that separates those who achieve their goals from those who falter. Without self-discipline, even the most ambitious plans remain unfulfilled and potential remains untapped. The Stoics, ancient philosophers known for their profound wisdom, emphasized that true mastery lies in controlling oneself rather than external circumstances. They believed that a person's habits, whether in career, health, or daily routines, serve as a direct reflection of their inner strength and character. A high-value man understands this principle deeply and lives by it. He knows that while he cannot control the world around him, he can control his responses, choices, and actions, and in doing so, he creates the life he desires. At its core, self-discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or challenging. It means choosing the long-term benefits of hard work over the fleeting comforts of procrastination or indulgence. For instance, it takes self-discipline to wake up early, even when your body craves more sleep, to hit the gym after a long day, or to resist distractions while focusing on personal development. These daily decisions may seem small, but they are the building blocks of success. The Stoic mindset teaches us that greatness is not achieved through grand gestures, but through consistent, deliberate effort over time. The power of self-discipline lies in its compounding effect. Every disciplined choice you make strengthens your resolve and propels you closer to your goals. Over time, these small, consistent actions accumulate, transforming your habits, character, and ultimately your life. For example, dedicating just an hour a day to learning a new skill or improving your craft may seem insignificant in the moment, but over a year, it translates to hundreds of hours of progress and mastery. Similarly, choosing to exercise regularly, even when you don't feel like it, leads to improved health, increased energy, and a stronger sense of self-confidence. A high-value man recognizes that self-discipline is not about deprivation or harsh self-criticism. It's about self-respect. By practicing discipline, he demonstrates to himself and others that his goals, dreams, and values are worth pursuing. He understands that the path to success is not always easy, but it is always rewarding. Each moment of discipline strengthens his resilience and reinforces his belief in his ability to achieve greatness. The Stoics remind us that while external circumstances may be unpredictable, our inner world is entirely within our control. This perspective empowers a high-value man to remain steadfast in his pursuits, even when faced with setbacks or adversity. He knows that challenges are opportunities for growth and that discipline is the tool that enables him to overcome obstacles and stay true to his purpose. Incorporating self-discipline into your life requires a commitment to mindfulness and intentionality. Begin by identifying your priorities and setting clear, achievable goals. Break these goals into manageable steps and create routines that align with your objectives. For example, if you aspire to improve your physical fitness, establish a consistent workout schedule and hold yourself accountable. If personal development is your focus, carve out time each day for reading, reflection, or skill building. It's also important to cultivate self-awareness and recognize the moments when your discipline is tested. These are the times when growth occurs. When faced with temptation or the urge to quit, remind yourself of the bigger picture and the person you are striving to become. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small, and use them as motivation to keep moving forward. Ultimately, self-discipline is not just a tool for achieving external success. It's a way of living that aligns your actions with your values and aspirations. By mastering self-discipline, you take control of your life and lay the foundation for lasting fulfillment. It is through this mastery that a high-value man distinguishes himself, not by the circumstances he faces, but by the character he builds. Chapter 2. Embrace responsibility. Take ownership. A high-value man understands that his life is his responsibility. He refuses to play the victim, to point fingers, or to blame external factors for his circumstances. Instead, he embraces ownership of his actions, decisions, and outcomes, fully acknowledging that he is the architect of his own destiny. This mindset is deeply rooted in the principles of Stoicism, which teach that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This power to choose our response is the key to personal growth, resilience, and self-mastery. Taking ownership of your life means understanding that you are accountable for where you are today. Whether you are experiencing success or failure, joy or hardship, your circumstances are shaped in part by your past decisions and actions. This realization isn't meant to inspire guilt or regret, but rather empowerment. When you take responsibility for your life, you reclaim your power to influence your future. You begin to see challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. Stoicism teaches us that setbacks and failures are inevitable, but how we perceive and respond to them is entirely within our control. A high-value man doesn't fear failure. He embraces it as a necessary part of growth. Instead of blaming others or dwelling on what went wrong, he asks himself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I do better next time? This mindset not only fosters resilience, but also cultivates a sense of self-reliance and adaptability. Each failure becomes a stepping stone towards success, reinforcing the belief that he has the strength and wisdom to overcome any challenge. Responsibility isn't just about acknowledging mistakes or shortcomings. It's also about actively shaping the life you want to live. A high-value man doesn't wait for opportunities to come to him or for others to solve his problems. He takes initiative, sets clear goals, and works diligently to achieve them. He recognizes that the life he envisions won't materialize through luck or external circumstances, but through his own effort, perseverance, and determination. This proactive approach to life distinguishes him from those who passively drift, waiting for change to happen. Moreover, embracing responsibility means being accountable not only to yourself, but also to those around you. A high-value man understands that his actions impact others, his family, friends, colleagues, and community. He takes his commitments seriously and strives to be a source of strength, support, and inspiration for those who rely on him. Whether it's fulfilling professional obligations, maintaining personal relationships, or contributing to a greater cause, he approaches his responsibilities with integrity and purpose. Taking ownership of your life also requires confronting uncomfortable truths. It means being honest with yourself about your weaknesses, limitations, and areas for improvement. This self-awareness is crucial for growth, as it allows you to identify what's holding you back and take the necessary steps to address it. It's not about perfection but progress, a willingness to learn from mistakes and continually strive to be better than you were yesterday. One of the most powerful aspects of embracing responsibility is the sense of freedom it brings. When you take full ownership of your life, you free yourself from the burden of blame, resentment, and victimhood. You stop waiting for external circumstances to change and start focusing on what you can control. This shift in perspective is liberating because it reminds you that you are not powerless. You have the ability to shape your reality and create a life aligned with your values and aspirations. To cultivate this mindset, begin by examining the areas of your life where you may be avoiding responsibility. Are there situations where you're blaming others or external factors for your challenges? Are there goals or commitments you've neglected because they seem too daunting? Take a step back and ask yourself how you can take ownership of these aspects of your life. Set specific, actionable steps to address them and hold yourself accountable for following through. Ultimately, embracing responsibility and taking ownership is a lifelong practice. It requires courage, humility, and a commitment to growth, but the rewards are immeasurable. By owning your actions, decisions, and outcomes, you empower yourself to live with purpose, integrity, and confidence. A high-value man doesn't shy away from responsibility. He steps up to the challenge, knowing that every decision he makes shapes not only his future, but also the legacy he leaves behind. Chapter 3. Emotional Control. Master your mind. True confidence doesn't come from ignoring or suppressing emotions, but from understanding and mastering them. Emotional control is one of the most essential traits of a high-value man, enabling him to navigate life's uncertainties with poise and purpose. The Stoics, ancient philosophers dedicated to the art of rational living, taught that our emotions are not dictated by external events, but by our interpretations of those events. This insight underscores the power we hold over our emotional state and highlights that the path to emotional mastery begins in the mind. A high-value man understands that emotions are a natural and inevitable part of life. He doesn't fear or deny them. Instead, he learns to manage them in a way that serves his goals and values. He recognizes the importance of self-awareness, acknowledging his feelings without judgment, and approaches them with curiosity and reason. For example, when anger, anxiety, or frustration arises, he doesn't react impulsively or let these emotions control his behavior. Instead, he pauses, assesses the situation, and responds thoughtfully, ensuring that his actions align with his principles and long-term objectives. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events, we have complete control over how we choose to respond. This distinction is at the heart of emotional control. A high-value man internalizes this lesson and practices it daily. He understands that life is unpredictable and filled with challenges, but he refuses to let circumstances dictate his inner peace or self-worth. When confronted with criticism, failure, or unexpected adversity, he remains calm and grounded, relying on logic and reason to guide his reactions. This ability to remain composed under pressure not only enhances his resilience, but also projects an aura of confidence and strength that commands respect. Emotional control does not mean suppressing or avoiding emotions. On the contrary, it requires emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, process, and regulate feelings constructively. A high-value man knows that emotions, even negative ones, carry valuable information. For instance, fear can signal potential risks, while anger might highlight an unmet need or boundary violation. By exploring the root causes of his emotions, he gains deeper insights into himself and his circumstances, allowing him to make more informed and deliberate decisions. When negative emotions arise, the Stoic approach involves three key steps: acknowledgement, reflection, and intentional response. First, the high-value man acknowledges the emotion without judgment, accepting it as a natural part of the human experience. Second, he reflects on the source of the emotion, questioning whether it stems from external factors beyond his control or internal perceptions that may need adjustment. Finally, he chooses a response that aligns with his values and desired outcomes, ensuring that his actions reflect strength and integrity rather than impulsiveness or regret. Developing emotional control requires practice and intentionality. A high-value man invests in this growth through mindfulness, self-reflection, and continuous learning. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling help him cultivate greater self-awareness and manage his emotions effectively. Over time, these practices become habits that allow him to approach life's challenges with a calm and focused mind. Emotional control is also a powerful tool for building strong relationships and earning the trust of others. A man who can maintain his composure in difficult situations, handle conflicts with empathy and rationality, and remain steady in the face of adversity becomes a source of strength for those around him. His calm demeanor and thoughtful responses inspire confidence, making him a natural leader and a valued presence in both personal and professional settings. Ultimately, mastering emotional control is about reclaiming power over your inner world. By refusing to let emotions dictate his actions, a high-value man takes full ownership of his responses, decisions, and outcomes. This mastery not only makes him resilient in the face of life's uncertainties, but also allows him to project the calm confidence that attracts success and inspires respect. Emotional control is not just a skill, it is a way of living that empowers a man to face life's challenges with unwavering strength and purpose. Chapter 4. Build a strong sense of self-worth. To become a high-value man, the journey begins with recognizing your intrinsic value. This is not about ego or arrogance, but about understanding your worth, independent of external validation. The Stoics believed deeply in the importance of self-worth, emphasizing that it must be rooted in inner principles rather than fleeting external factors like wealth, status, or the opinions of others. A high-value man knows who he is and what he stands for, and his confidence stems from this unshakable foundation. He does not measure his worth by the approval of others, but by the alignment of his actions with his values and principles. Building a strong sense of self-worth requires introspection and clarity about what truly matters to you. What are your core values? What do you stand for? A high-value man invests time in understanding these questions because they serve as the compass guiding his decisions and behavior. By living in alignment with these principles, he cultivates a deep sense of respect for himself, which becomes the cornerstone of his self-worth. Unlike those who seek validation from external sources, be it praise, material possessions, or social status, a man rooted in his values is self-assured and independent. This independence from external validation is critical. The Stoic philosophy teaches that external opinions are beyond our control and, therefore, irrelevant to our inner peace. A high-value man internalizes this lesson, recognizing that seeking approval from others makes his self-worth fragile and contingent on forces outside his influence. Instead, he turns inward, building his confidence on the bedrock of self-respect and integrity. This internal foundation makes him unshakable in the face of criticism, rejection, or societal pressure. He knows that his value does not fluctuate based on what others think of him, but remains constant because it is rooted in his principles. Integrity plays a pivotal role in strengthening self-worth. A high-value man consistently acts in a way that reflects his values. even when it's inconvenient or difficult. This consistency reinforces his belief in himself and fosters a sense of trust in his own judgment. For instance, if honesty is one of his core values, he will speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable. If discipline is important to him, he will honor his commitments, regardless of external challenges. Every time he acts with integrity, he strengthens his self-respect, creating a virtuous cycle that bolsters his sense of worth. Moreover, a high-value man understands that self-worth is not about perfection, but about progress. He accepts that he is a work in progress and embraces his flaws and mistakes as opportunities for growth. This self-compassion is a crucial element of self-worth. Instead of berating himself for his shortcomings, he learns from them, reinforcing his belief in his ability to improve and overcome challenges. By focusing on growth rather than perfection, he cultivates a resilient and positive self-image. Another essential aspect of self-worth is the ability to set boundaries and say no when necessary. A high-value man respects his time, energy, and well-being, and he expects others to do the same. He is not afraid to walk away from situations or relationships that compromise his values or self-respect. By setting and enforcing these boundaries, he demonstrates to himself and others that he values his own needs and principles. This not only strengthens his self-worth, but also earns the respect of those around him. Building self-worth is a lifelong process, but it starts with small, consistent actions. Begin by identifying your core values and committing to living by them. Reflect on your achievements, no matter how small, and use them as reminders of your capabilities. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, and distance yourself from those who undermine your confidence. Practice self-care and prioritize activities that nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Over time, these practices will solidify your sense of self-worth, making you more confident and self-assured. Ultimately, a high-value man's self-worth is his anchor. It keeps him grounded and steadfast, regardless of life's ups and downs. By building your self-worth on a foundation of internal principles, integrity, and self-respect, you create a life of lasting confidence and fulfillment. You no longer rely on others to validate your worth because you already believe in your potential and your ability to live a meaningful, purpose-driven life. This unshakable sense of self-worth is what sets a high-value man apart, enabling him to stand tall in any situation with quiet confidence and unwavering strength. Chapter 5. The Power of Purpose. Living with purpose is what defines a high-value man and sets him apart from the crowd. Without a clear sense of purpose, life can feel directionless, like a ship adrift without a rudder, vulnerable to the whims of external forces. Purpose gives life meaning, structure, and motivation. It transforms ordinary existence into something extraordinary. The Stoics believed that our purpose is not found in chasing material success, fleeting pleasures, or societal approval, but in cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These virtues form the foundation of a purposeful life and guide us toward fulfillment and resilience, no matter the challenges we face. A high-value man understands that living with purpose is about aligning his actions with his deeper values and goals. He doesn't let distractions or temporary desires dictate his path. Instead, he lives each day with intention, making choices that serve his long-term vision. This sense of direction doesn't just help him achieve his goals, it gives him the clarity and strength to navigate life's inevitable uncertainties. When the world around him is chaotic, his purpose acts as an anchor, keeping him steady and focused on what truly matters. Discovering your purpose requires introspection and self-awareness. A high-value man takes the time to reflect on his passions, values, and the impact he wants to have on the world. He asks himself questions like, what gives my life meaning? What legacy do I want to leave behind? How can I contribute to the well-being of others? By exploring these questions, he uncovers a purpose that resonates deeply with his core identity. This purpose is not imposed by society or shaped by external expectations. It comes from within. Living with purpose also demands the courage to pursue what matters most, even when it's difficult. The Stoics emphasized that purpose is not about avoiding challenges, but about embracing them as opportunities to grow and demonstrate virtue. A high-value man is willing to endure discomfort, sacrifice, and perseverance to stay true to his purpose. Whether it's pursuing a career that aligns with his passions, building meaningful relationships, or standing up for what he believes in, he approaches every decision with integrity and resolve. This commitment to his purpose gives him a sense of fulfillment that external achievements alone cannot provide. One of the greatest benefits of living with purpose is the resilience it fosters. When you are clear about your purpose, setbacks and obstacles become easier to overcome. Instead of being discouraged by failure, you see it as a temporary detour on a larger journey. Purpose provides the motivation to keep moving forward, even when the path is steep. It reminds you that your efforts are part of a bigger picture, giving you the strength to endure and the determination to succeed. A high-value man's sense of purpose acts as his compass, guiding him through life's storms and keeping him on course toward his goals. Living with purpose also enhances focus and productivity. When you know what you're working toward, it's easier to prioritize your time and energy. You become less susceptible to distractions and more deliberate in your choices. A high-value man uses his purpose as a filter for decision-making, ensuring that his actions align with his larger vision. This clarity not only helps him achieve his goals, but also brings a sense of peace and satisfaction, knowing that he is living authentically and intentionally. Purpose is not static. It evolves as we grow and change. A high-value man remains open to re-evaluating his purpose, ensuring that it continues to align with his values and aspirations. He understands that purpose is not a destination, but a journey, one that requires constant reflection and recalibration. By staying true to this journey, he cultivates a life of meaning, fulfillment, and impact. Ultimately, the power of purpose lies in its ability to transform how we live and perceive the world. It gives us a sense of direction, motivation, and resilience. It allows us to rise above the noise of everyday distractions and focus on what truly matters. For the high-value man, purpose is not just a guiding principle. It is the foundation of his identity and the driving force behind his success and fulfillment. By living with purpose, he creates a life that is not only successful, but also deeply meaningful and aligned with his highest values. Chapter 6. Cultivate strong relationships. Success is not just measured by personal achievements or material wealth. It is also defined by the quality of your relationships. High-value men understand that their journey is greatly influenced by the people they surround themselves with. Strong relationships provide support, inspiration, and accountability, all of which are essential for personal growth and fulfillment. Stoicism emphasizes that while we cannot control other people's actions or behaviors, we can control how we interact with them and who we choose to allow into our lives. This philosophy underscores the importance of building relationships that uplift, challenge, and add value to our existence. A high-value man is intentional about the people he allows into his inner circle. He seeks out individuals who inspire him to be better, who challenge him to grow, and who align with his values and goals. These relationships are not superficial. They are built on trust, mutual respect, and shared purpose. By surrounding himself with people who encourage his personal development, he creates an environment that fosters growth and positivity. These connections serve as a source of strength, helping him navigate challenges and remain focused on his aspirations. On the other hand, a high-value man is not afraid to distance himself from toxic relationships or those that drain his energy. He understands that maintaining such relationships comes at the cost of his emotional and mental well-being. Whether it's individuals who bring negativity, undermine his confidence, or consistently violate his boundaries, he knows the importance of setting limits and prioritizing his own growth. This is not an act of selfishness, but a recognition of the fact that surrounding oneself with negativity stifles progress. By walking away from toxic influences, he creates space for healthier, more meaningful connections to thrive. Building strong relationships requires effort, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. A high-value man invests in understanding and managing his emotions, ensuring that his interactions with others are thoughtful and constructive. He communicates openly and honestly, listens actively, and shows empathy toward others. These traits not only strengthen his relationships, but also make him a trusted and respected presence in the lives of those around him. He is not just focused on what he can gain from relationships, but also on what he can contribute. He values reciprocity and strives to be a source of support, encouragement, and inspiration to others. Meaningful relationships are built on shared values and mutual respect. A high-value man recognizes the importance of aligning with people who share his principles and aspirations. Whether it's a romantic partner, a mentor, or a close friend, he seeks connections that resonate with his core beliefs. This alignment fosters a deeper sense of understanding and trust, creating relationships that are both fulfilling and enduring. These strong bonds are not dependent on constant agreement or superficial harmony, but are rooted in genuine care and a commitment to each other's growth. Stoicism teaches that relationships should not be about control or dependence, but about mutual support and growth. A high-value man applies this principle by maintaining a healthy balance between independence and connection. He values his autonomy and encourages others to do the same, fostering relationships that are built on equality and mutual empowerment. He does not seek to control others or rely on them for his happiness, but instead focuses on creating a dynamic where both parties feel valued and respected. Furthermore, a high-value man recognizes that relationships are a two-way street. He understands that cultivating strong connections requires effort, patience, and a willingness to invest time and energy. He prioritizes the people who matter to him, showing up consistently and being present in their lives. Whether it's offering a listening ear, celebrating their successes, or providing support during difficult times, he demonstrates his commitment to maintaining and strengthening these bonds. Ultimately, strong relationships are a cornerstone of a fulfilling and meaningful life. They provide the encouragement and accountability needed to stay on the path of growth and self-improvement. By surrounding himself with people who uplift, challenge, and inspire him, a high-value man not only enhances his own life, but also contributes to the well-being and success of those around him. Cultivating strong relationships is not just about what you gain. It's about the value you bring to others and the shared journey of growth and fulfillment. Chapter 7. Constant Growth and Self-Reflection. One of the defining traits of a high-value man is his unwavering commitment to constant growth and self-reflection. He understands that life is a journey of continual learning and improvement, and he actively seeks ways to evolve in all aspects of his existence, be it his career, physical health, emotional intelligence, or relationships. Growth is not a destination for him, it is a process, an integral part of his identity. This mindset aligns closely with Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of self-awareness, reflection, and the pursuit of wisdom as cornerstones of a fulfilling and meaningful life. A high-value man prioritizes self-reflection as a daily practice. The Stoics believed that introspection is essential for personal growth. They encouraged examining one's thoughts, actions, and decisions to gain a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. A high-value man regularly questions his beliefs, evaluates his behaviors, and learns from his experiences. This self-awareness enables him to identify areas for improvement, celebrate his progress, and correct course when necessary. By reflecting on his day, he can pinpoint what went well, what could have been done differently, and how he can improve tomorrow. This habit not only fosters growth, but also cultivates humility and resilience. Humility is a key aspect of the high-value man's approach to growth. He recognizes that no matter how much he knows or achieves, there is always more to learn. This openness to learning keeps him grounded and prevents complacency. He actively seeks knowledge and wisdom, whether through reading, engaging in meaningful conversations, or learning new skills. His curiosity drives him to explore diverse perspectives, challenge his assumptions, and broaden his understanding of the world. This constant pursuit of growth not only enriches his life, but also positions him as a valuable and inspiring presence in the lives of others. The high-value man also embraces the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within his control. He understands that setbacks and failures are inevitable, but how he responds to them is what truly matters. Instead of being discouraged by obstacles, he views them as opportunities to learn and grow. Each challenge becomes a stepping stone toward greater resilience, wisdom, and capability. By adopting this perspective, he remains optimistic and proactive, even in the face of adversity. He knows that growth often comes from discomfort, and he is willing to step outside his comfort zone to achieve his full potential. Physical and mental health are also integral to the high-value man's commitment to growth. He takes care of his body through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest, recognizing that physical well-being is the foundation for sustained energy and focus. Similarly, he invests in his mental and emotional health by practicing mindfulness, managing stress, and nurturing his emotional intelligence. He understands that growth is holistic and that neglecting one aspect of his life can hinder progress in others. By maintaining a balanced and disciplined approach, he ensures that he is continually improving in every area of his life. Another hallmark of a high-value man's growth mindset is his ability to remain grounded in both success and failure. Stoicism teaches that external achievements and setbacks are fleeting and do not define a person's worth. A high-value man internalizes this lesson, celebrating his successes without becoming arrogant and facing his failures without losing confidence. He understands that both triumphs and setbacks are part of the journey and that the true measure of a man lies in his character and how he responds to life's challenges. As the high-value man prioritizes growth and self-reflection, he unlocks new opportunities and moves closer to realizing his full potential. He becomes more adaptable, resilient, and capable of navigating the complexities of life. This dedication to self-improvement not only benefits him personally, but also inspires and uplifts those around him. He becomes a role model, a source of wisdom, and a catalyst for positive change. Ultimately, the high-value man's commitment to constant growth and self-reflection is what sets him apart. He understands that life is a continuous journey of learning, and he embraces this journey with curiosity, humility, and determination. By striving to become the best version of himself every day, he not only achieves personal fulfillment, but also creates a meaningful and impactful life. Chapter 8. Let go of what you can't control. One of the most vital lessons that Stoicism teaches is the importance of letting go of what you can't control. A high-value man understands that not everything in life is within his grasp. He can't control other people's actions, the past, or unforeseen events. What he can control, however, is how he responds to these circumstances. By learning to detach from the outcome, he frees himself from unnecessary stress, frustration, and anxiety. This freedom comes from the realization that peace arises when we focus solely on what we can control: our mindset, our effort, and our actions. A high-value man embraces the fact that external events, such as other people's behavior, societal pressures, or random life setbacks, are beyond his control. In a world that often places the expectation of control on us, this understanding is both liberating and empowering. Instead of trying to influence circumstances beyond his reach, he shifts his focus toward what he can influence, how he chooses to react. Whether it's facing a challenge at work, dealing with personal issues, or handling conflict with others, a high-value man controls how he approaches the situation. He doesn't waste energy on things beyond his control. Instead, he channels his resources into managing his own actions and responses. The Stoic principle of detachment from the outcome is key here. Too many people tie their self-worth and happiness to achieving specific goals, be it in their career, relationships, or personal endeavors. A high-value man understands that while striving for success is important, the outcome itself is often beyond his control. The only thing within his power is the effort he puts into the process. This mindset allows him to act with integrity and focus, regardless of whether he achieves the desired result. If he succeeds, he remains humble. If he fails, he learns from the experience and continues moving forward. His confidence is not rooted in outcomes, but in his commitment to doing his best, regardless of the result. This approach to life helps a high-value man avoid unnecessary emotional turmoil. He doesn't base his happiness or sense of fulfillment on things beyond his control. Instead, he finds satisfaction in knowing that he did what was within his power to do. By focusing on his actions and efforts, he cultivates a sense of peace that isn't easily disturbed by the uncertainties of life. He understands that life is unpredictable, and instead of fighting against it, he flows with it, adapting his approach as needed. This resilience is what allows him to maintain composure even in difficult situations and to stay grounded in his purpose. Focusing on what he can control also helps a high-value man conserve his emotional and mental energy. He no longer wastes time worrying about things outside of his influence, such as other people's opinions or the uncontrollable aspects of his environment. Instead, he uses his energy to improve himself, work toward his goals, and cultivate meaningful relationships. He channels his focus into productive, value-driven activities, knowing that this is where he has the most impact. In his relationships, this principle is just as important. A high-value man understands that he can't control how others behave or think, but he can control how he interacts with them. If someone is disrespectful or dismissive, he doesn't react impulsively. Instead, he chooses to respond with maturity, respect, and emotional intelligence. He understands that his peace and happiness don't depend on how others treat him, but on how he chooses to respond. This ability to detach from the behavior of others allows him to maintain strong, healthy relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, letting go of what you can't control is about embracing peace and clarity. A high-value man knows that true peace doesn't come from trying to control the uncontrollable, but from focusing on what is within his control. By doing so, he frees himself from the distractions and frustrations of life's uncertainties and creates space for growth and personal development. This Stoic principle of detachment allows him to remain focused, resilient, and purposeful, no matter what life throws his way. By choosing to focus on his own actions, mindset, and effort, he strengthens his character and becomes more aligned with his purpose, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and impactful life. Chapter 9. Consistency is key. The final trait that defines a high-value man is consistency. In a world that often values quick results and instant gratification, consistency may seem like a simple concept, but it is one of the most powerful traits a person can cultivate. A high-value man doesn't rely on occasional bursts of effort or dramatic transformations. Instead, he understands that true success is not achieved overnight, but through the sustained, incremental efforts made each day. It's about showing up consistently with discipline, purpose, and a commitment to improvement, even when the progress feels slow. Stoicism teaches that life is a series of small, continuous actions. It's not about making one grand gesture or accomplishing a single major goal. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, regardless of the immediate outcome. The Stoics believed in focusing on what can be controlled and consistently making the right choices, regardless of the results. A high-value man takes this philosophy to heart, knowing that his growth, whether in health, career, relationships, or personal development, is a journey. This journey requires persistence and dedication rather than a fleeting moment of intensity. Consistency is the secret to mastery. Whether he's working on his physical fitness, learning new skills, or improving his emotional intelligence, a high-value man remains steadfast in his efforts. He doesn't become discouraged when he doesn't see rapid progress. He understands that success is the result of countless small actions that compound over time. By continuing to put in the effort day in and day out, he builds habits and practices that lead to long-term achievement. It's this sustained effort that separates those who are successful from those who are average. While others may fizzle out or lose motivation, a high-value man remains focused and committed, driven by the knowledge that consistency is what ultimately leads to success. One of the key benefits of consistency is that it builds momentum. Even on days when motivation feels low, a high-value man understands that it's the act of showing up, regardless of enthusiasm, that keeps him moving forward. This habit of consistency removes the need for constant motivation, as he has already built the discipline to act, even when he doesn't feel like it. Over time, this consistency becomes ingrained in his daily life, and success begins to feel like a natural byproduct of his unwavering commitment. Additionally, consistency helps to cultivate resilience. Life will inevitably throw challenges and setbacks in a high-value man's path, but his consistency allows him to stay the course even in difficult times. Instead of giving up or becoming discouraged, he uses setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. His ability to stay focused and keep making progress, even when it feels like things aren't moving as quickly as he'd like, is what enables him to overcome obstacles and continue on the path of growth. This resilience, built through consistent effort, strengthens his character and empowers him to rise above adversity. The power of consistency is evident in every area of a high-value man's life. In his career, he doesn't look for shortcuts or quick wins, but builds his success through persistent hard work and strategic actions over time. In his personal life, he maintains strong relationships by showing up, being reliable, and consistently adding value. In his health and fitness journey, he knows that small, consistent actions, like exercising regularly and making healthy food choices, will yield long-term results. In all these areas, it's the steady, consistent effort that leads to lasting transformation and success. A high-value man also understands that consistency doesn't mean perfection. There will be days when things don't go as planned or when progress feels slow. However, he knows that even on those days, showing up and doing the best he can is enough. Consistency is not about achieving perfection, but about committing to the process, regardless of the challenges along the way. It's this commitment to steady progress that leads to the kind of long-term success that others can only dream of. In conclusion, consistency is the cornerstone of a high-value man's life. It's the secret that enables him to achieve lasting success, regardless of the challenges he faces. By showing up every day with discipline, focus, and a commitment to growth, he builds momentum, cultivates resilience, and ultimately achieves his goals. A high-value man doesn't rely on occasional bursts of effort or short-term wins. Instead, he understands that real success is built through the small, consistent actions he takes each day. And it's through this consistent effort that he truly elevates his life to new heights. Becoming a high-value man is not an overnight transformation, but a continuous journey of growth and self-mastery. It requires a commitment to discipline, emotional control, and a deep respect for oneself. By embracing Stoic principles, you will build the foundation for unshakable confidence, clarity, and resilience, essential traits for success. Remember, a high-value man doesn't seek validation from others or try to impress those around him. True high value is found in becoming the best version of yourself, living with purpose, mastering your thoughts, and consistently growing. This journey is about shaping your life based on your values, not external influences. If this video has resonated with you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on personal growth, stoicism, and achieving success. Take control of your life today, and let's embark on this transformative path to greatness together.